Hi everybody, this is Erica, and I thought I would talk about how to reconcile being a beauty enthusiast or a beauty addict or whatever you want to call it with being financially responsible. And this is something that I've wrestled with pretty much over the last 2 decades. It's something that as the responsibilities in my life grew, and I was like paying a mortgage and, paying for car insurance and, paying all the bills, my own bills, I had to be more mindful of how I was spending on beauty purchases. And beauty is a love of mine. It's just, I'm Korean. I don't know if it's in the DNA. I don't know my birth mother, but she was probably a big beauty enthusiast too, because by the time I hit 13, I was like reading 17 magazine, cover to cover, and just like absolutely fascinated with like any like makeup tips and makeup looks that I saw. And any, babysitting money I had, I'd go to the drugstore and get some cheap makeup and try to recreate the look, and just became really fascinated at a young age. And I don't know where it came from as far as my adoptive parents, because my adoptive mother is like, doesn't wear makeup, doesn't do anything to her skin, doesn't do anything to her hair, and considers the beauty spending that I do as very frivolous and irresponsible. And it wasn't until I kind of monetized that interest by becoming an esthetician and then going into makeup artistry for bridal that she kind of, calmed down about it. But it was just seen as being an extra, a want, not a need. And we grew up in our household. We weren't poor by any means, but we were middle class in an era where the middle class still existed, and there were no extras. There was nothing extravagant that we had. And my dad, my parents would buy this soap called Kaleo soap. I don't know if anyone has heard of it, but they would buy it in bulk, and it was like this generic soap. And my dad once tried to convince me that I could wash my hair without shampoo and conditioner and just use the soap to wash my hair. And like he even like demonstrated it. So he was just so frugal. And then he was a vet, and a veteran, and he tried to convince us that we could take 2-minute showers. That was his other thing. So this is what I grew up hearing. And then at the same time, I had this fascination with like beauty, and the beauty industry, as you know, is getting exponentially more expensive. Even drugstore, I don't think, is a way out. I think drugstore makeup is just creeping and creeping and creeping up, or even less subtly. It's just jumping to almost like where high-end and drugstore are kind of getting blurred now, because some of the prices in drugstore items are so high. So I don't even think drugstore is necessarily the answer to things either. So what I do is, after I have paid for my bills and covered, put things towards my retirement and things like that, is I will save a small amount that's left over and put it towards beauty spending. And if it's not this month, it's next month. If there's something that I really want that is on the pricier side, I have to save up and wait for it. I can't run out and grab it. And it's hard to watch some of the influencers, even though I enjoy the content creators, their videos, I can't relate to the content creators that are doing Sephora hauls every week and buying thousands of dollars worth of product, weekly. Yes, these are content creators that are monetized, and I don't know anything about their finances, and it's not my business, but, they are somehow able to do it. So I can't relate to it at all. I'll be honest with you right now. So I'm not ever going to be an influencer in that sense. So But I do know the products and brands that I like. I know the products and brands I don't like. And if it's something that I really want to have, if I don't have the money now, I wait until I've saved up enough money to get it. So I don't know if anyone else kind of goes through this kind of battle in their head. I was watching a content creator who's very popular. Her videos do very well. She's probably making a lot of money off YouTube right now. She gets, brand sponsorships all the time. And she was holding a $70 foundation and a short. And she said, this was no better than anything I could have picked up at the drugstore. And I just think about like how much more money I would have towards like my retirement or my kids' college if I hadn't been doing this kind of spending. So that was kind of like this rare, honest moment from a content creator. So I would definitely advise, don't put things on credit. Don't, if you don't have the money in your bank account to pay for that product, don't get it. If you have to wait it out, you have to wait it out. That's just my advice. Just don't get yourself into trouble with the beauty spending, and it's becoming exponentially more expensive, and it's becoming like pushing out some of the joy that I used to feel from getting products. It's just like, oh my God, I spent that much for that. It's that feeling. So I don't know if anyone can relate, but that was my thoughts on being a beauty enthusiast and being financially responsible. I hope you have a good day. Bye.